Sorry for the bad quality of this video, it's because, well, it's kinda rushed and plus it's a recorder for CRT. Today I'll be talking about licensed games, whether it be good or bad ones. It doesn't matter when they were released, as long as I played them a bit or have had some experience, I'll talk about them. I'm only doing this for the licensed games because I find them the most interesting, because some of them are great and they live up to the source material, while some are just flat out terrible and just obviously there for a cash grab, or was horribly rushed into being put on shelves. There are some out there that are great, like Batman or something like that, but they won't ever reach the heights of the PS2 era. I think GoldenEye is a prime example of a great licensed game. This is because of the gameplay is great. I don't know how much it follows the story of the movie because I haven't really watched GoldenEye yet. But what makes GoldenEye so great was because of how advanced it was for the time. There wasn't really a lot of first-person shooters on consoles, so this is basically the first major one. Although looking back at it now, the game is a little bit clunky in its controls, because the Nintendo 64 controller looks like it was meant to be held by 3 arms or something, or 3 hands at least. But it is easy to get used to, in my opinion, while playing it a lot, but it does get a little bit annoying. I think GoldenEye is like the first prime example of a great licensed game, and over the years there have been some great or even better ones than GoldenEye. Although there are some games that are licensed that are not based on a movie or a TV show. Let's take for example Deadpool, the Batman Arkham series, Ghostbusters and Star Wars Battlefield, etc. But there is 1 or 2 licensed games that are most likely gone. Take for example Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Released in 2010, it was a tie-in to the movie of the same name, and it was only available online stores like PSN and Xbox Live. It was well received by critics and fans of the comic and movie, although in December of 2014 it was removed from the stores due to licensing issues. There are a few games that also count as a sequel to a movie. Take for example Ghostbusters the game, released in 2009, which is basically, to some fans, Ghostbusters 3. Although I haven't played it yet, it seems great. And I should also mention that there is an Alien Isolation game out, and I've
But for every good licensed games like Simpsons Hit and Run or Spider-Man 2, there's always going to be at least 25 games like Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Doctor Who Return to Earth.
Doctor Who is a miserable experience of a game made by real humans, surprisingly, not just some robots. The game was rushed for shelves for Christmas 2010. It's awful, it's buggy. The game starts off with the TARDIS flying towards a spaceship near Jupiter. The first level takes 30 seconds, and if you've ever played a game before, most first levels don't last 30 seconds, they usually last around 5 minutes or longer. The second level introduces the most annoying gimmick of all time, in my opinion.
Crystal sound projector.
Why is it annoying, you may ask? Well, for starters, it makes a horrible ear-bleeding noise. Second of all, why? This is the show where anything can happen, but why do we have to shoot at floating holographic targets? The third chapter is a lie. The robots are not friendly at all.
Can you tell me where to die?
And you have to look at the worst graphics I've seen on the Wii. And don't forget, this was released in 2010. But let's go on to a more positive side of licensed games. Spider-Man for PS4. The game isn't really amazing about it. It's almost perfect, but there are a few spots where the game does slow down and give it a break. But overall, it's not terrible with that. There are a few minor complaints. Although thinking about it, most licensed games were just made because of a new movie that was released at the time, and is you there for a quick cash grab. Although there have been some licensed movie games that were released years after the movie, like Godfather or Scarface for example, is great. There are some blunders out there, but more on that sometime in the future. For now, I'll end the video here, and I'll most likely make another one of these in the future, or just leave this as a one-off. Alright, I'll be going now.